on, Jeremy. Drink up.
I'm fine, Father.
What a weakling you've become. I remember the day you used to put this stuff away like a man.
I was younger then.
Yes. Younger and more virile, huh?
If anything, liquor diminishes one's virility.
Well, it never seemed to diminish yours. You've changed, Jeremy.
You've had enough, Alex.
Don't tell me what I've had or haven't had.
It's not good for you to be drinking like this.
I don't do things because it's good for me. I do them because I want to.
I know, but the doctor...
To hell with what the doctor said. I live my life as I please. Which is more than I can say for my son. What happened to the Hellraiser? Boozing and tomcatting all night, running with the hounds all day? You could have been master of all of this, Jeremy. But instead, you choose to be an itinerant, ineffectual artist. You're a sorry excuse for a son.
I simply don't enjoy drinking to excess, Father.
Oh, you think I'm drinking to excess, is that it? I'll drink you under the table any day of the week. I'm going to bed. My son's company is keeping me awake. You coming, Natalie?
In a little while. No, it would be rude to leave Jeremy alone.
He's not a guest. He's a friend and family.
Even ruder to friends and family. I'll be up soon.
You most certainly will.
Go ahead, I'm fine.
You're trying to get rid of me.
I don't want to be a catalyst.
We won't be. Tell me about Erica Kane.
Erica?
Well, your role in her rescue does fascinate me. What was she in your life?
I've wanted this all day. You look absolutely beautiful, Mrs. Baggett.
Oh, flatterer. Hey, come on in.
No, really, you are radiant. I do hope you haven't found a new hairdresser.
Well, I hope not, because she's no good. To tell you the truth, I did it myself.
I don't believe it.
Well, you had best believe it. You know, I was trying to do the same style that you did to me the other day, but I don't think it's worked out too well. The trouble was, I didn't really feel I could make an appointment with you to do my hair, since I had a date with you to go out tonight. I mean, it just didn't seem quite right.
Well, I'm very flattered, but really, quite frankly, you've done an excellent job. I couldn't possibly improve on it.
Well, I'm not going to debate it. Now, can I offer you something?
Later, perhaps. We don't want to be too late for the movie. This is a lovely home, Mrs. Baggett.
Oh, call me Myrtle.
Splendid. And you must call me Milton.
Milton. Oh, what a lovely name. Is that for the fella who used to write the poems?
No, actually, it's for my uncle, Milton.
Oh.
My mother's favorite brother.
Uh-huh.
We won't even discuss my middle name. Poindexter.
Poindexter. Milton Poindexter Carlyle. Well, it's a very interesting name.
Now, when you say it, it's rather impressive.
Well, what's the name, you know? As they say, a rose by any other name would be, well, a rose,
Yes,
really.
Indeed. And speaking of roses, I brought you a box of Rose's famous chocolates.
Oh, my goodness. My favorite. How did you know?
You have a sweet tooth.
Oh, the worst. And you?
Oh, I'm an addict.
Well, let's indulge ourselves by having one right now. Hope you like.
Oh, dear lady.
What about that one?
Ah, thank you, dear lady.
Now, and watch, see what I like. Oh. My goodness. But don't ever just get any of the caramels because they're my favorites.
Oh, you ask too much. But surely we have a lot in common. I wonder, perhaps we could take the candies to the movie with us. That way, if I eat any of your caramels, I'll have the very good excuse that I couldn't see them.
Look, ma'am.
In my madness. Well, shall we go?
Absolutely.
We don't want to keep Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant waiting.
Well, I must say, a box of chocolates and an old movie and wonderful company. I mean, what more could I ask?
What more could I?
Shall we go?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You know the story, Natalie. It was in the papers.
Ah, yes. A cryptic account of a daring rescue of Miss Kane by one of her trusted employees. Nothing really in depth.
There is nothing in depth in my relationship with Erica. It was strictly on a business basis.
Not many employees risk their lives for their employer.
Well, if we were all the same, it would be a very dull world indeed.
You're being evasive, Jeremy.
All right, all right. The simple truth is Erica seemingly disappeared and her family was worried. She was tracked down at Adam Chandler's Canadian home, where she became separated from him during a motorboat ride. And she was lost on one of the islands, period.
That sounds like a direct quote from the news article. No. There's more to the story than that, Jeremy.
Why are you so curious anyway? What difference does it make to you?
Naturally, I am interested in my stepson. Now, why did you take it upon yourself to rescue Erica? Why not leave it to the Mounties?
I felt she was in trouble and needed my help.
Your help, not the authorities. Such strong feelings indicate a very personal relationship.
I worked with Erica. I respect and admire her as a friend. I would have done the same thing for any friend.
She's a very beautiful woman. Your appetites have changed considerably if you can settle for just being friends with such a woman.
Tired of this interrogation?
Perhaps I'm getting too close to home.
You're bored, Natalie. After delivering safely Erica in New York, I left. I have no further interest or involvement in her life.
Hello? Yes, he's here. One moment. Long distance call?
We just have to keep hoping that that medication is going to work, right?
Yeah, hope. That's all we can do is hope.
It will, sweetheart. It will.
Watch out there. Hey, Ross. Ross, how are you? I'm Brian Sanders, WRCW news anchor. It's good to see you, Ellen. I've had the pleasure.
Yes,
You
Brian.
look well.
Thank you.
I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am to hear about your uncle. How's he doing?
Oh, come on, Brian. You know what the situation is.
No, actually, I don't. In fact, that's why I'm here. Last I heard, he was on the critical list. In fact, why don't we sit down here a second? I'd like to ask you something. Ross, I've got a camera crew downstairs, and could I impose on you to give me a brief statement, your feelings now, and especially something in regards to Adam's condition? We can use the evening news tonight.
Look, Brian, I'm just not in the mood for an interview right now, okay?
I understand that. I appreciate that, Ross, but you also understand that Adam is a very important man, and I think virtually the whole world's out there waiting to hear about an improvement in his condition. Can't you help me out?
Why don't you just go?
I'm imploring you, Ross. I'm just doing my job.
I said go.
Okay. I just want you to know this is a part of my job that I don't enjoy and I damn sure never get used to. I'll check with the nurse on his prognosis.
What is it with guys like that?
Oh, no. Oh, no. He left his clipboard. That means he's going to be coming back.
It won't come. What?
What's the matter? What is it?
Adam Chandler, world-renowned financier and founder-owner of the multi-billion-dollar Chandler Enterprises conglomerate, passed away this evening at Pine Valley Hospital as a result of some... How can you write something like this?
What? Oh, let me explain this, Ross. This is kind of common practice.
What common practice?
It's common practice. I mean, every television station, every radio station keeps...
What is it with you, Brian?
We
you like
keep
the smell of death?
Oh, come on, we keep...
Gentlemen, stop it! calm down, both of you.
I'm calm.
Yes.
Ask him to calm down.
Please, let's, not now.
You know, if you'd have been a little more thorough in going through my personal effects, you might have turned to page 2 and found out the version that I would prefer, and I hope that we run. Adam Chandler took a turn for the better this evening, and we're happy to report that he's out of danger on the road to recovering, blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Look, I'm sorry, too. Look, can't you give me any statement at all?
No.
Is that final?
That's fine.
Okay. Well, incidentally, Ellen Brooke tells me that you guys have a new addition at the house. Congratulations.
Thank you. Brian, thank you.
Be in touch, huh?
How can a guy like that live with himself?
Sweetheart, just forget about him, okay? He's not important. He's not important.
I don't like the way he handles
his
his
job. Keep your mind
job.
off him, honey. It's not worth it, right? Right? Oh, look, it's Joe. It's Joe.
Adam is responding to the
Oh!
Is he all right?
He's regained consciousness. He wants to see you.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Your turn, Milton.
You never give me a card I can use.
Beautiful. Just what I was waiting for. Gin.
I don't believe your luck.
Carl, don't lie. I nearly cleaned you out there.
Yeah, if we were playing for money, you could retire.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you another game. I've got to wait out for Robin anyway.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to take a rain check, Myrtle. I've got an 8 o'clock cut and style for tomorrow.
Oh.
I've enjoyed this evening very much.
So have I. And the film was absolutely wonderful. You know, I could see a film out there just about every night of the week.
Well, there's a whole festival of Hepburn films.
Oh.
I'd like to book you up right now.
I'd love that.
Will you give me another shot at gin?
Anytime.
Soon, I hope. Good night, dear lady.
Good night, Milton. And thank you for everything.
Thank you. Sweet dreams.
Thank you.
No, Father's doing all right. It wasn't as serious as they first thought.
That is terrific, Jer. I'm really glad to hear it.
Now, come on, and tell me about you. What are you doing back in the States?
Ah, well, those doctors in Central America thought I'd better get some therapy on my leg, or I may never be able to walk again.
You're joking.
Yeah, for the most part, but you know what alarmists they can be. Anyway, I figured if I was going to need that kind of therapy, I better get the best I can, so seeing the guy here in the Big Apple.
Good.
Did you get in touch with Erica?
No.
Jeremy, you're making a big mistake. You're in love with the lady. You can't just wave a magic wand and have that go away, man.
You're wasting your time and your money in that conversation. I'm not interested, Larry.
Okay, fine. I'm just remembering what you told me. That if you'd stuck around, you'd have broken your vows. You were really hurting, Jeremy. And from what I understand, so was Erica when you walked out on her.
Listen, you don't know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. Look, you are back now. Look her up. Just give it to her straight. Don't be so in love with suffering, Jeremy.
Listen, knock it off, will you?
Hey, man, I'm just trying to help you.
Okay, I'll see you when I'm back in New York. Thanks for the call.
Good heavens. Such hostility. What was that all about?
Hey, man, I'm just...
Was a friend of mine from Central America. He's in New York getting physical therapy for his leg. Okay?
Well, that's not what I meant. I wanted to know what it was you so vehemently do not want to discuss.
My personal life is my own business, Natalie.
And it was something personal.
Listen, at the risk of being rude, may I remind you that I'm a guest in this house? Your questions are totally out of line.
And you are totally vulnerable to them.
Out of patient would be more accurate for your lack of respect for my privacy.
Quite the man of mystery, aren't you?
Yes. And that's exactly how we're going to leave it. Good night, Natalie.
We'll see about that, Jeremy. We'll see.
Dr. Martin said that he was asking for me.
Yes, but remember, he's very, very weak.
It's Ross.
Ross. What happened?
You've been very ill, Adam. And you're in Pine Valley Hospital. But everything's going to be okay. You have the best doctors. The best available, and you're going to be all right. I'm taking care of all your business. So you don't have to worry about anything except getting well, okay?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, yeah.
He did this.
I know what he did. But he'll pay for it.
His memory is returning in chronological stages. At this point, she has remembered her life only up until her teenage years.
That's extremely encouraging.
But I must remind you, Mr. Cortland, I'm very uncomfortable with this request you have made of me.
I gave you my good reasons. Nina's husband and her mother would be devastated if they were told that Nina was making progress and then she failed to recover fully. I mean, you've admitted yourself that you don't always have total success.
Of course not. But I'm not being responsive to my patient's husband. The man obviously loves her.
All I'm asking, Helmut, is that you hold back just a little information. After all, it would be a matter of prudence. If you can't honor this simple request, how can we possibly hope to work together in the future? On that project in Salzburg, for example.
That would be unfortunate, but I will not be compromised. This deception with Dr. Warner cannot go on indefinitely.
I heard the most fascinating archaeological lecture today, Phoebe. It dealt with the Pompeii, you know, with the diggings of Pompeii. My dear, you would not believe the excesses of that culture.
Well, you had better start worrying a little more about the excesses of a culture nearer home.
Well, what is that supposed to mean?
In a word, Locust Street, to be specific.
Oh, my dear, you can't mention Locust Street in the same breath as Pompeii.
I don't see why it isn't possible that they might have stripped chariots in antiquity.
Stripped? What the world are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that the Mercedes was stripped on Locust Street last night.
Oh, Phoebe.
That you loaned Andrew the car so that he and Hillary could go running off to New York to deliver that damnable disc.
Well, yes, I know about that, but...
But what you don't know is that when they arrived in New York, they found Tad and Dottie in bed together. Poor Andrew was naturally crushed to find that Dottie had been unfaithful to him. So he drove to Locust Street and drank himself into oblivion. This morning, when he tried to return home to Pine Valley, he discovered that the car had been stripped.
Well, I'll call Wagner Garage and simply have them tow it back to Pine Valley.
Oh, tow it, eh? Well, on what, dear? You see, the car is now on cinder blocks. Sans wheels, sans doors, sans engine, sans everything.
Phoebe, I am sorry.
Now, you see, I tried to stop you from letting those two children run off to New York like that. And if I had been successful, none of this would have happened.
Phoebe, I listen to everything that you say, but I don't always agree with it.
Oh, but surely you must agree now that I was right. In fact, you should apologize for opposing me at every step with Tad and Hillary. And if you do, my darling, then you may return to our bedroom and to my bed.
Nope. I have no intention of apologizing. I did what I thought was best for my daughter.
You still defy me, you ingrate? Well, I won't put up with it.
What are you going to do?
Well, for one thing, I shan't supply you with an automobile any longer.
Now, Phoebe.
Well, you can't expect to defy me and still run around in one of my expensive cars. From now on, you can just depend on public transportation. And if that fails, you can stick up your bum and hitchhike.
Good friend, what do you want?
Well, I'm hoping you can help me with an assignment. I have gotten strict orders from my news director to do a story with a new slant on Adam Chandler's health. So if you could just answer a couple of questions.
I'm sorry, Brooke. I'm not authorized to make any comment at all.
Cliff, look, I'm not going to name a source. I'm not even going to quote you directly.
Brooke, I'd like to help you. I can't.
Meaning you won't?
Meaning this is not your average run-of-the-mill patient. Look, Brooke, why don't you talk to Ross? Maybe he can give you some information.
Yeah, I guess I can give that a try. All right, well, thanks anyway.
No hard feelings?
No, you know better. Oh, listen, I was meaning to ask you, how's Nita doing?
Well, you know she's working with this specialist that Palmer has hired from Vienna.
Is he helping her?
Well, apparently not. I honestly haven't seen her in a long time. I haven't been allowed to. But from all I've heard, she's not doing any better.
You must understand, Helmut, I'm not asking you to do anything unethical. If Nina's improvement were more substantial, of course I'd be very eager for you to tell Dr. Warner.
But she is making progress every day.
Yes, you see, I've had an idea that might help even more. Nina's often mentioned to me that she might like to come home. Suppose we just do exactly that.
She's not ready to be released.
No, I don't mean for a long visit. No, just for a short time. Now, isn't it possible that if she were in the environment, the atmosphere of her childhood, that might be therapeutic?
You said you didn't want your wife to know of any progress.
Oh, well, it just so happens that my wife and her mother are in New York on a shopping trip. Would you let me try it?
It's an interesting idea. Let me get Nina.
Hello.
Andrew? Have you recovered from your imprudent night on the town?
Well, I still got a first-class headache. About 2 dozen more aspirin, and then maybe I'll be able to make it to class.
That's the spirit. Before you do that, I have a favor to ask of you.
Ross, you got
and
a
it's
second?
very important.
What is it, Brooke?
I've been given a priority assignment from our newsroom, a story on your uncle's health, but the doctors haven't been very helpful.
So?
So I thought maybe you could give me a statement.
No, absolutely not. I thought I made that clear to your colleague last night, Brian Sanders.
I heard, look, Ross, Brian and I are only doing our job.
Is that right? Is it your job to invade the privacy of my family?
Adam is a major corporate leader. Don't you think his stockbrokers have a right to know about the state of his health?
Listen to me, Brooke. If you or anybody else writes a story about the capability of Adam's leadership, every stockholder in Chandler Enterprises is going to be hurt. The whole corporate structure is going to be destabilized. I happen to be his nephew, and I promise you one thing, I'm going to protect him.
He's a public figure.
He's not the president of the United States. Nobody voted him into power. And nobody has a right to know.
The press has a right to investigate, and they have a right to print the truth on us.
Stop there for a minute, will you, Brooke? I promise you one thing. You seem to forget that Adam owns your station. You push, keep pushing, and I promise you you're going to be fired.
is our library. You remember it?
So different.
Somebody painted it pink.
Is the lake still down here?
Oh, yes. Remember at Christmas time, you played all of Christmas carols.
And we always used to put the Christmas tree right over there.
Mm-hmm.
It smelled so nice when we bring it in from the woods.
We had beautiful times together.
And it was always just you and I, wasn't it, Father? Who is that
What?
in that magazine? Do I know him?
Oh, that. You see, I told you about him. That's Cliff Warner.
I don't want to see that.
Well, I don't blame you. But I must warn you, darling, if you do meet him, you mustn't believe one word that he says.
Father, please. Please just keep him away from me. Promise me.
Yes, darling. Yes, I'll try. Anyway, let me get rid of this, I don't know how it ever got there in the first place.
Haven't got a lot of time, Andrew. What's on your mind?
Well, I know you don't have a lot of time, so I won't take too much. I just going to clear the air about things.
About what in particular?
Well, about my involvement with the whole mess that was created with Sandy.
Okay, what was your involvement?
Well, I mean, you know what it was. I'm the one that took Sandy across the state line to see that play in New York.
Okay. I do know that. Now I'd like to know why.
Well, it was Palmer's idea. He said he had some tickets to go see a play. I really like Sandy, so I thought
I'll say this whole bit about your liking Sandy, okay? Palmer told you what to do, you did it. You always will as long as he's paying your bills.
Okay. Look, I deserve that. But the truth of the matter is this is too obscure. I could never have known, Cliff.
Yeah, would it make any difference if you did?
Look, no matter what you may think of me, I don't just go around ruining people's lives. I'm sorry that happened.
Well, maybe you'll think twice the next time Palmer gives you an order. It's a pretty rotten thing you did.
I know, and that's why I came here to apologize to you. I mean, I know how much you love Nina, and I know how much she loves you. And believe it or not, I'd like to see the two of you back together someday.
Well, if Palmer has his way, that won't happen.
Well, I mean, if Nina got well, things might
Yeah,
work
well,
out.
that doesn't seem very likely now, does it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, things are looking good now, right?
What do you mean? What do you say that?
Well, she went over to Cortland Manor this morning.
She what?
Palmer thought it might be good to, get her memory back together.
He doesn't do that without consulting me. He doesn't do that.
Yeah, I saw him. Was not the highlight of my day.
Why? What happened?
Well, I wanted to interview him about his uncle, and he sort of stepped on me like I was a bug.
Oh, really? Huh? Does this man know that he's not supposed to mess with the press?
Do you mind going and explaining that to him?
I'd be glad to if I could find him.
Well,
I got to deal with my own business anyway.
I think he's probably with Adam. Anyway, whatever you want, I'd say tread a little carefully. He's in a foul mood.
Great, thanks for the warning. So how's by you? How's life treating you?
Can't complain.
I bet you can't complain. I hear you got a cute little playmate.
Well, I think everybody should have a playmate, don't you?
Oh, yeah. But if you don't mind a little friendly advice here, you're not going to lose your head over this guy, right?
Why not? Aren't I entitled?
You're entitled, but you got a few responsibilities, You're a mother.
Are you suggesting something about Gilles?
What can I suggest about Gilles? I don't even know the guy. It's just words around that you're changing, maybe not necessarily for the better.
Sounds like you've been talking to Tom Cudahy.
That's a good guess.
Did he tell you to come and talk to me?
Just relax. He cares about you, that's all.
Well, what did he say exactly?
Well, you know, just basically what I said, and that he thinks you're acting like a giddy kid instead of a grown woman.
What have I done that is so, giddy?
Well, didn't you go running off to the Caribbean without telling anybody?
Come on, that was a short, unplanned vacation. I did an interview with Gilles because he made a new deep-sea diving record. Is that what is supposed to be so giddy?
I'm just telling you what Tom said, that's all.
Well, it sounds to me like you agree with him. You know what I think? I think that the two of you are getting too old for your age. I am still young at heart, I am. And if I want to be giddy, I am going to be giddy.
Well, look, the old man isn't preaching here, okay? I just don't want to see the young lady get too carried away with herself.
All right, well, don't worry about it. Because I know what I'm doing.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. Hillary, we're so sorry about all this, you know. Me too. Well, you might as well know, of course, that it's your own son who is the cause of all this mayhem.
Phoebe, listen, we're looking for Tad. You know where he is?
Yes, he had to go look for the disc. It seems just our luck that it got lost while Barton was chasing him. And I, for one, hope he never finds it.
Phoebe, how can you say such a thing?
Because if it isn't found, then he will go to jail where he belongs, and he will be out of our lives forever.
Is Nina here or not? She's in the kitchen getting a glass of milk.
Why wasn't I told about this?
Don't put too much importance on it. She's not going to be here very long. She's going back to Oak Haven this afternoon.
Yes, but this obviously means she's improving. Why wasn't I told?
Well, you must be aware of the medical fraternity's way with secrets. I was just as surprised as you are.
When did you find out about this?
Well, only this morning. Of course, I insisted that she come home for a visit.
I don't believe it. She's doing better.
Yes. Yes, finally our prayers are being answered.
I want to see her.
Yes, of course you will, but I have to warn you that she's disoriented. She seems to be living in her teen years.
You think she'll remember me?
Well, I don't know, and I can't predict how she's going to act when she sees you.
Well, she'll remember me.
Get away from me.
Honey, don't you remember me?
Oh, I remember you. I hate you. You want to take me away from here.
No, Nina. No, that's not true. It's not true at all.
Leave me alone. Father, please don't let him take me away, please.
There. I won't let anyone harm you. Maybe you'd better leave.
Why? Because it's a loser. Well, first of all, the new drugs. They've lost money, haven't they? And also, we could be sued at any moment. No, I don't care about the loss. No, I want you to do it as soon as possible, and that's an order. Do you hear me? The first thing tomorrow, I want you to get back to me on the Cranston deal. First thing tomorrow. That's right. Good night.
Excuse me, Mr. Chandler.
Yes?
I hate to bother you here at the hospital, but it's very important I talk to you. My name is Benny Sago. I own Benny's Place.
What's that?
It's a club, kind of a hangout for the kids.
Oh, yes, I remember. What is it you want?
Well, you see, my lease is held by the Mayflower Corporation, which is one of your companies. I try to make a long story short here. I ran into a few personal problems, and I'm a little late on the rent this month. I spoke to your wife about this, and she thought perhaps we could work something out.
Yes, well, Ellen said something to me about it. But the person you want to speak to is Amos Grill. He handles the Mayflower properties.
Well, I talked to Mr. Grill. You see, I couldn't get any satisfaction there. I thought perhaps if you and I talked, you know, we could come to some agreement.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't help you.
Well, this is an emergency, Mr. Chandler. You're going to get your money, I swear it. I just need an extension, that's all.
If I do it for you, I do it for everybody else.
Well, maybe, but I'm in danger of losing my business here.
Yeah, and that would be undermining the Chandler Corporation. It's all enterprise. I mean, we operate on a sound financial principle.
Hey, listen, we're just talking about a month here.
And what I'm talking about is a rule we have. It's a company rule. You see, I expect every company, no matter how big or small they are, to pay their rent on time. If they don't, they lose their lease. Now, it just so happens that rule applies to you. Now, if you'll excuse me.
What a charm.
Pediatric conference in room 301 starting at 5 p.m. Pediatric conference at 5 p.m.
Medication for Mr. Chandler.
Sure.
And you got him over here with the speed of lightning, and I do thank you.
You're welcome, Dad.
Yes, everything worked out brilliantly.
Well, it must have been kind of difficult, though, for Nina. I mean, to go through all this in her condition.
Yes, it was difficult for her, but she's going to be well soon, and then she's going to be right here back at home where she belongs with me.
Good. And what about Cliff?
Oh, simple. He'll be out of the picture entirely.
Well, can you be absolutely sure that Nina's going to be happy about that?
Just as sure as I am that she was happier before she ever laid eyes on him. And believe you me, not going to be any more Cliff Warners in her future.
No, I know Nina rejected Cliff this time, but I mean, what's going to happen when she finds out that it's her husband?
If and when she does remember, then I'll convince her that all he did was make her miserable.
Oh, I wonder if that'll work.
It'll work. I'll make it work. Then I'll have both of my children right here at home with me. We'll be a warm, loving family. Yes, we'll be happy. Happy family.
Mr. Chandler. Mr. Chandler. Do you recognize me?
Of course I recognize you, Brooke. But why are you dressed like a nurse?
Well, because Corinne wanted me to do a special story about you, but you're being shielded from the press. So I had to resort to this in order to get in to see you.
I admire your ingenuity. Why should those fools care if you interview me? It doesn't the whole world know that I'm sick by now. Why should they care if you report it?
My sentiments exactly.
You tell your viewers that I'm feeling better every day. And soon they'll have Adam Chandler to contend with again.
Well, what in the world are you doing here? I specifically told you to leave Adam alone.
It's all right. Brooke's just doing her job.
No, it's not all right, Adam. I don't want you disturbed.
I'll be the one who decides that, all right?
Listen, Adam, your illness is a private matter, okay? Now, these kind of vultures are going to just turn it into a bunch of lies. Fine.
Ross, relax. Brooke would never do that.
Wouldn't she? I wouldn't put it past. Come on, Brooke, get out of here.
Ross, since when do you start making orders around here? I'll be the one who decides who's...
What? Adam. Adam? Josh, sit down here quick, Adam.
Hello. Erica, honey, why didn't you tell me you were coming home?
I didn't know myself until the last minute. Oh, I'm so depressed. I'm so depressed, Mother, I can't even think straight. I mean, I went all the way to Tibet. I still don't know where Jeremy is.
Oh, honey.
And I can't believe that nobody has any idea where he is. I can't believe that a person does not just disappear off the face of the earth.
Well, do you think he went back to one of those troubled countries?
No, as a mercenary, no. Absolutely not. I know he was finished with that.
Well, I have nothing else to suggest.
Why didn't I think of that? Oh, why didn't I think of that before? I'll see you, Mother.
Erica, where are you going?
It's obvious that she cares deeply about you, as evidenced both by her journey to Tibet to find you and her great distress on learning that you weren't with us. I believe you suffer now because you're afraid. My son, you will be free of torment only when you resolve your inner conflict. You must come to terms with your true feelings for this woman, and then have the strength and courage to do what you must do. I pray for you. Come to. Is everyone going to take? Where are the doctors? Adam? Adam, please to the way. What happened?
I don't know, he was fine. We were talking, and then Ross came in and they started to argue.
I want you out of here. Understand?
You were the one who upset him.
Both of you wait outside right now. I'm not going until I find out what's wrong with my uncle. Clear this room. What's wrong with him?
Ross, that means you two out. Now, Ross. He'll be all right.
Obviously.
Well, you already got your story. What are you hanging around for?
I'm concerned about Adam.
Oh, please.
And I'm going to stay here until I find out how he is.
You have one hell of a nerve, you know that? Dressing yourself up as a nurse, sneaking around Adam's room?
I'm sorry I had to resort to that, but you wouldn't let me see him.
That's right, I didn't. You see, Brooke, Adam happens to be a very sick man, and I don't want vultures like you hovering over him, wait for his last gasp.
Look, I was assigned this story. I didn't ask for it, and Adam understood that I was in there only trying to do my job.
Really? I'll tell you something. This has been a real eye-opener for me, seeing how you people at the station work. No wonder your ratings are going down the drain.
You watch the ratings, do you?
Yes, I do. I happen to be in charge of operations. I make sure it's my business that I know everything that's going on. So you just run right back to the station and you tell your boss that you're not going to hype your ratings by sensationalizing Adam's health. As far as you're concerned, miss, you're fired.
Ross, nobody is trying to sensationalize anything.
Tell me the truth, Brooke. Come on, level with me. You planned this whole thing, didn't you? You figured you could get him riled up and he might drop dead? Then might have a big...
What are you talking about? First of all, it was you coming in and arguing with him that brought on the attack.
I don't understand any of you people. You're all alike, you know that? You don't give a damn about anyone or anything.
What a knowledgeable generalization that is.
You're a pack of wolves. You're preying on the misfortunes of others just so you can hold on to your big, fat salaries.
Let me tell you something. Adam wants the public to know the truth about his condition, and if you hadn't been so overprotected of him, none of this would have happened.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And you listen carefully, because this is a warning. Should anything happen to Adam, like if he should die, you're going to be up on murder charges.